keep that on or not? I feel like it might be just like really, really cool toned if I don't. So maybe we'll leave it on in the background there. So it's chat, chill, and get ready with me time. If this is your first chat, chill, and get ready with me, it's self-explanatory. We chat, we chill, and I get ready, and you guys ask me questions. So I have ones that you guys had pre-submitted, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. But if you have any that either if I don't get to them or any questions that you would like for next month, go ahead and drop them below. I do normally try to remember to like ask on Instagram and on my community tab, but you can always just use the comment section on these videos. I don't really check my comment sections a lot because it stresses me out sometimes, but on these videos, I do pretty much always check the comment sections because again, also this is normally a smaller group here, so like I feel safe. These questions are going to be in no particular order. I'm just going to run them through as I have them. And as always, I have some like random questions. I have book questions, I have writing questions. Normally I feel like I try to segment them out. I'm not gonna do that, I'm just gonna kind of run through them. So, what's your least favorite trope? I would also love to know what you do with your hair, it's gorgeous. Thank you. Anytime someone compliments my hair, that really gives me a boost because I'm honestly feeling kind of insecure about my hair at the moment. I feel like I've thinned it out, especially on like this side. It's hard to tell on camera. Obviously, like it always looks better on camera than I think it does in person, but I feel like I've thinned it out a little bit and it's stressing me out because I like don't know what to do then to like help get it back. One of my friends told me to get vitamins with omega-3 in them, so that's what I'm gonna do and see if that helps because I don't want to like, I know Nutrafol or something like those vitamins. Anyways, I'm getting off track. What do I do with it? So I use the Pacifica like moisture sunscreen shampoo and conditioner from Target. I just like that brand because it's cruelty free and it's not super expensive and it's like got a lot of natural ingredients. Is it good? I don't actually know. Maybe that's one of my issues. So I use that. Then when I get out of the shower, I put in the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum because I have very curly hair naturally. I mean, you can't tell by today, like this is not like natural. I straightened it yesterday and then I curled it today. My heat spray, I use the L'Oreal Sleek It Iron Straight heat spray, and then I just use like the big black can from is it from L'Oreal of hairspray. I have it in the bathroom because I don't like to spray the aerosols like where I have the kitties all the time and like Dorian's Lane right behind the camera here, so I don't normally like to spray that like in here where they are. And then I use Batiste for dry shampoo, but I know that's bad and I'm just using up my stock of it. And then I'm going to try using, one of my friends uses baby powder and she said that it works really well and like it's obviously better than like the aerosol one, so I'm gonna try using that. Now back to favorite trope. Favorite or least favorite trope, I would have to say Secret Baby. I really don't like Secret Baby. There's only one that I've ever read that works for that, and that is Reckless by Elsie Silver. Otherwise, I do not like that trope. I find absolutely nothing about it like believable most of the time. I purposely avoid books if it's Secret Baby. Truly the only reason why I even read Reckless was because I'm like, I think I'm really gonna like this because I've liked other books of Elsie Silver's in that series and I was really excited for winter. And the thing with Reckless at least is that it didn't last very long, like the Secret Baby part didn't last very long. I hate when they like are together again and like the heroine still doesn't tell the dude that that's his kid. I'm like, I just can't fathom any reason that like makes sense to keep that from someone. So Secret Baby just does not do it for me. Is creating a reading journal flip through vid ever something you would consider doing? I don't think I'd ever do like a dedicated video, but actually let me finish doing my moisturizer, and while that sinks in before I add my foundation on it, I'll just show you my reading journal. I keep it fairly simple. It's just something to kind of like track my reads, and I have the same journal. I've had it since 2020 and I just like keep on flipping to more pages. Here it is. It's just this old journal. I actually think my grandma got this for me for Christmas like years and years ago, and then I turned it into a reading journal. So it's not like a bullet one or anything. It's not one that has pre-selected prompts in it. I'll grab those last two because I don't really like them. 2024 reads. So this is how I track my reads. I just have like blank pages and I just track them, and I have my little code key in the corner of my color scheme. So then I just write the books in and the color that they do. So I do still track star ratings, even though I don't share star ratings in my videos anymore. Because like I said, with Now Writing Books, it's just a little bit of a gray area. But I don't share them, but I do still track them myself because I'm curious. But if I'm talking about any book on here, just know that I like it enough to recommend it to you. Like, I'm never going to talk about books that I wouldn't recommend to you guys. And then I have my 2024 page tracking. So I have all of the months, and then the books, the amount of books that I read, and the pages each month, and then the reading formats. So physical, Kindle, audio, and other, which would be like library books, ARCs, or ebooks that I purchase or something. And then the next page, I have my ratings. So I do my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for all of the months. I do have it. Oh, I have a DNF tracker. Shoot, I think I just added a different DNF tracker because I did DNF a book recently. Okay, well, I have a DNF tracker just because I'm curious about how many I DNF. Then I have my monthly favorites and new or rereads to track as well. And I have my TBR spreads. So I have my January TBR. I already started my February one because I'll be filming that one soon, and this is just all new releases, and I have multiple pages for that for the year. And then there's that DNF tracker. Then I have my 24 books to read in 2024 TBR list, and then I have my social media tracker, and then I have my monthly word count that I'm going to track with writing, like how many words I write a month. Although technically, like this month I haven't really written that much because I'm just doing edits, but whatever. And then I have my publishing stats that I'm going to keep track of physical books, ebooks, and KDP pages read/sold, and I carried over my numbers from 2023. Then I have my top 10 of 2024, my honorable mentions, and my books hauled that I'll keep track of throughout the year. So that's my reading journal. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing super special. I like it, and it tracks kind of the things that like I'm interested in tracking. Okay, let me grab my mirror, and then as always, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. This is just my go-to, my ride or die. Aria, what are you doing back there? You can barely even see her. I'm clearing out that shelf because I'm going to be moving in just over 2 months. So I'm starting to get some stuff packed because I have a very busy March, which is when I'm actually moving. So I'm starting to pull some stuff off here and there. So I'm cleaning that out. So that'll be empty for the next few videos, or like the next 2 months of videos. If your house was on fire and you had to choose one book to save, which would you choose? So this is to say that obviously the cats are already out, right? Because if so, I'm abandoning everything, including myself, to get the cats out. So that is to say that the cats are already safely out of here. Okay, this, I mean, it's a tie between, do I want to go with my most valuable book, which would be the Mystic Box Birthday Girl Special Edition by Penelope Douglas, because that literally I've seen sell on Mercari for like $2,500, which is just insane. And also I love that one. It's a special edition, so would I want that one? Or probably my bound copy of Manacled, just because like that you can't really like, you can't buy that. Like I was just lucky enough to get a commission spot years ago. I would say probably that one, because that would be one of the most like irreplaceable books that I have. I mean, yeah, I could learn how to bind it myself, but I have too many hobbies at the moment, so I don't have time for that. So probably one of those two. Do you like paperback or hardcovers? Hardcovers for collecting, but paperbacks for reading. I really don't like reading on hardcovers. And right now I'm having to read a hardcover because I'm rereading Crescent City, and it's just, I just don't like holding it. But I love the way that hardbacks look on bookshelves, and also the way that they hold up over time, obviously. Do you consider going to book conventions as an author? So yes, I would love to do that. That's actually like a goal of mine. That's a 2025 goal of mine, I think, because this year, obviously, so as of right now, I still only have Take You Down out. Take My Hand, I just submitted yesterday for edits. So, I mean, that's done except for editing, and I'm starting on the outline for Starting Line. Outline and starting line, that like is kind of a tongue twister. Like I obviously have a lot of books in the works, but right now I only have the one out. So this year I don't see myself like going to any, and also I feel like it would be way too late. And also like I don't have enough of a readership base, you know, obviously like I definitely have more of a presence still just because of like YouTube, and people more know me from that rather than like me writing. But by 2025, I should have 4 books out by then. And then I feel like I would hope that I could try. But also, I don't know how that works. Do you approach them? Do they approach you? Like, I literally know nothing about how any of this works because it's stuff that like people don't talk about. So trust me, whenever I know something, like I know, and I'm sure it's a question in here once again, am I going to get my books on audio anytime soon? That again, it's something that it's like, I don't know how to, do you just commission people? Do people reach out to you? I genuinely don't know these things. And when I know them, I will let you guys know like the process of them and everything, because I know that people are curious about it. And like books, like I haven't heard anyone talk about how they get to book signings. Do you approach them? Do they approach you? How does that work? Do you have to pay money to be there? Do they, like, I genuinely don't know. So as soon as I do, I will tell you guys. But that is like a 2025 book goal of mine, is to be at a conference signing. And also I had another, and then I had, what book conventions are you planning on attending this year, if any? And then didn't I have one of, it's like, if I'll be at Sweetgrass, would I sign your Take You Down copy? So I was supposed to be at Sweetgrass, but I did end up selling my ticket. It's just, flights were super, super expensive. And I am in a friend's wedding later this year. So I have her bachelorette party and I have her wedding, and both of them are not in the state that I live in. So it's just like, that's kind of taking up a lot of my expenses this year, that I just didn't think that I was going to be able to make it to Sweetgrass. So I'm not, if I was there, I would totally sign it. That would be so cool, but no, unfortunately, I won't be there. And then as for the other one, am I planning on attending any others? No, like I said, just this year's too busy with other trips. I do have a family vacation in the mix as well, so I just do not have the time to do it and the money to go to another book signing this year. Do you want more cats? Well, after Aria was just driving me crazy off camera, going at that box and chewing at it. Not at the moment, but yes, of course. I would love to have more cats one day. However, I don't think that is in my future in any years to come right now, because so obviously in my apartment that I'm in right now, I do have a 2-pet limit. And the apartment that I just signed on that I'll be moving into soon again has a 2-pet limit. So I don't see me having any more, especially while I'm in apartment spaces. Once I get a house, then I would love to, but definitely not while I'm still in any apartments. And at the same time, Dorian and Aria, I've talked about this before, so they are a bonded pair, in case if you didn't know. They are brother and sister. They're from the same mother, and I call them my twins a lot. And I like to say that Aria is older. I don't actually know, but Dorian just gives very much younger brother energy. And they are very much a clique. So if I got any more cats, I would have to get 2 more. Like I could not just get 1. They would just bully it. So I would have to get another pair. So going from 2 to 4, I just need a lot more space. So obviously one day, because I just want to be able to give as many cats a loving home, a loving and caring home, because I literally put their need, like I would do anything for my cats. I'm like, I think sometimes you guys think I'm being dramatic, but I'm literally not joking when I say that I would quite literally do anything for them. Like, you know those videos of people where they ask parents, like, would you commit murder for your child? And they're like, I don't know. You wouldn't even have to ask me twice. I would literally do anything for my cats. So I would 100% love to have more, because I just know that there are so many kitties out there that need a loving and happy home, and I can provide that. Let's jump down to a writing question, because actually my answer on this has changed from all the past videos that I've given. So it was, how do you deal with reviews on your book? And always in the past I said I don't read them because I haven't read reviews. Also, let's get some Vaseline on these lips and get the makeup off of them, because they feel crusty and I'm sure they look crusty. Okay, so normally in the past, I did not look up any reviews for Take You Down right after it released and while I was writing Take My Hand, and it wasn't until I was done writing Take My Hand that then I finally did. And here's the reason why. It is not because I think that I am above reviews, or that I think that like I know best, or that like no reviews could actually teach me anything or point out anything that might be true. No, I fully understand like reviews and how they can be helpful. I was just way too fragile after I released Take You Down that it would have been bad for me to look up reviews immediately after. I wouldn't have been in a good headspace. I was just way too vulnerable, because even though I talk to you guys on here, this is like a personal thing, but it's also not, because I'm not ever talking about anything that's to do with like my own work, but like that was my own work that I was putting out there, and that was very scary to do so, and I just didn't want to see reviews as soon as I put it out doubting it, especially because leading up to Take You Down's release, I almost pulled it. I almost didn't release it. And I was really, really close to not releasing it at all. And I just was not in a good space to look at anything immediately after that. I would have just kind of crumbled under it, and it wouldn't have been good. And then when I started writing Take My Hand, I had such a different writing experience with the second book. I have continued to feel really good about this story since the entire time that I wrote it, and even throughout edits. Like, yes, there were certain times where I'm kind of like, what are you doing? But for the most part, it was a story that it's like, fuck, like I really like this and I feel really good about this. And not that I didn't feel good about Take You Down, but it's just a different feeling with Take My Hand. And I feel like you'll be able to see that in the vlog when I release it, like my writing vlog with it. But then with that one, I was like, I'm in such a good place with writing this book right now that I don't want to go back to the place that I was in when I was writing Take You Down and just feeling like so many doubts and just like really wondering like what I even think I'm trying to do here. So then while I was writing Take My Hand, I didn't want to like break that kind of stride that I was in. So I didn't want to look at that at all. But then literally the night that I finished Take My Hand, I was like, I want to look at reviews. And I did. And honestly, I was like surprised. A lot of the reviews, even when they were critical, they were like constructive criticism, and I appreciated those. And I agreed with pretty much everything that everyone said, even in those constructive criticism reviews. I was like, yep, I totally get that. I totally see that. It felt like good to read that and kind of see some of the stuff that I was thinking reflected back, or just like confirming what I was kind of already thinking. So honestly, I found them really helpful. I'm sure there are going to be ones down the road that I'll read that'll just kind of like crush me a little bit. But I do have to say that out of all the ones that I read, none of them really, like, I didn't get in my head at all of being like, well, I just suck and I should just pack it up and go home. Like, I was kind of thinking that I might. And also, I just have the understanding that my book is not going to be for everyone. I just finished a book the other day that, like, me personally, I really did not like. But then I got it on Goodreads, obviously, to mark it as read. And there are so many 5-star reviews for it. So many people being like, this is my favorite book ever. So I'm just fully aware that not every book is going to work for every single person. And that's just like, I'm just okay with that, you know? Okay, am I a Kindle sticker girly? Would love to see my Kindle if so. So no, I'm not. I do have a bunch of stickers though, and I think whenever I get a new Kindle, I'll get a clear case to go with it to do the stickers. However, the case that I have right now is like Galaxy, and it's like a hard shell case with the little like flop over the top of it. Let me grab it. This is my Kindle case. It's a little beat up, but it's like this Galaxy print. This stuff is all just scrapes. But it said the world was hers for the reading, and it's just this Galaxy print. So it has this like flip top on it. So no, I don't have any stickers, but I think I will probably cave next time I get a Kindle and get a clear case and do the whole sticker thing. Okay, so this one is a question that I did have to outsource some help for, and I would also like your help with as well a little bit with your suggestions in the comments. Again, and I'll also answer this about audio. I would love to put my books on audio. I just don't know how to do that right now. And I do think that it is a really expensive process if you do it yourself. And just to be honest, I do not have the money. Like, I'm not making the amount of money off of the books in order to get audiobooks made at this point. I would love to do that one day. I will say never, but as of right now, I just don't think that that is an option for me to be doing like out of pocket myself. Yes, but I got a question. Who are your dream audiobook narrators for your first 3 published books? Needs to be 6 people and can be a known narrator or celebrity. So obviously I only have 1 book published, and that's Take You Down. And that is Walker and Scar. And actually, I don't know. And this is this is gonna be annoying because these are the only 2 characters that are out that I didn't like have people for. But I don't listen to a ton of audiobooks, and I don't really know a lot of narrators. So I asked some of my friends for some of their favorites. So I know like Desiree Ketchum, and I've listened to 1 book that has her, and I did like her. So maybe her for Scar. I don't know. I would also like your guys' opinions. Who do you think would make a good Scar? Because she's a little guarded, she's a little jaded, she's a little edgier, and I feel like a lot of the audiobook narrators just sound more like proper. and I feel like that's not her vibe. So I don't know. I don't know for Scar, and then also for Walker. And I think because a lot of the audiobooks that I listen to, they're either like dark or they're mafia ones, and he's just not that vibe. He's very much like playful energy kind of dude. And I know like Joe Arden is very popular, and I didn't have him bookmarked anywhere else, so maybe him. Like I know he just did the Hawk audio for Jesse Hall, and you know, like, so maybe him for Walker. Have to be someone who can like be a little playful, but also like, you know, he's still got that like raw sexy masculinity. So I don't know. Now for Hayden and Carter, who are the hero and heroine for Take My Hand, who did I have? I had Aiden Snow for Hayden because I really like him. He does all of Anna Huang's The Twisted series books, and I think that he would be a good Hayden because Hayden's definitely like a little more like shy, but has like that just like deep thrum of kind of like energy to him and like edginess, and he's very much like a shy guy, but like not so shy and very like in control when you let him be. So I don't know, I feel like Aiden Snow would be a good Hayden. And then for Carter, I think Avery Karis would be a good Carter. I heard her again in the Hawk audiobook by Jesse Hall, and as soon as I heard her, I'm like, I think that sounds like a perfect Carter. So that would be my Carter. And then lastly, you haven't even met these characters yet, but it will be my third published book, and that's Starting Line. That's my summer sports romance book. So TJ and Caleb, those are gonna be our two characters, and let's see if this gives you any sort of vibes for them. So I would say for Caleb, Teddy Hamilton. Deep kind of voice, little bit of frat boy energy. I think it works. And for TJ, I would say Cindy K. But again, if you guys have any other like people that you imagine, let me know. But that's who I would say for right now for mine. What colors are for book 2? I'm too excited to see the next cover. I am with you. I was supposed to see a draft of it this weekend and I didn't, and I'm just like anxiously awaiting it at this point. I'm so excited to see it. So the colors are going to be red and orange for this one. Red is Hayden's color and orange is Carter's color. So I'm really excited for that. And then, yeah, I have obviously books 2 and 3 for those will also have different colors. But Starting Line is going to be a completely different vibe. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that cover process is going to go, because obviously it's going to have to break up from the norm that I'm used to now with the Whispering Nothings covers. But red and orange for Take My Hand. Watched the last season of Survivor? If so, thoughts? Yes, I did. I am a big Survivor fan. Thank you so much to this person for asking, and I hope that you are here because I would love to hear your thoughts as well. So I had mixed thoughts throughout the season. I liked it. It was a fine season. It wasn't my favorite. I personally liked the previous season better with Jam Jam and Carolyn. That was the first time where I've had like a favorite of mine actually win in a long time. Also, there's gonna be spoilers here, so if you don't want spoilers, then like I guess skip ahead, but also the season's literally aired already. And whatever. This season though, I genuinely didn't have that many people that I really like loved. I really liked Emily. She grew on me. She had such a growth on the show, and I really ended up liking her by the end. I loved Kelly, so I was really sad when she went home. I liked Caleb. And also his Shot in the Dark play. That was great. Like, that was fun to actually see a twist work. I really liked seeing some of the elements come back, like the Survivor auction, and I thought that it worked with the twists in it, actually. I did like that. I thought that that was good in bringing back some of the old things of the show that people like, but there are still just certain elements that I didn't like. I hate that 2 people quit. 2 people quit. That's so annoying to me, especially as someone who has applied, and I want to be on that show so bad, so then to see people get out there and quit, that makes me mad. I don't know. I liked D enough. I liked Austin. I guess I liked enough people. It's definitely better than when fucking Gabler won. Jeez, that was like the worst. But I don't know. I guess it was like fine enough. It just like, it didn't make me super excited. And also I think Austin like really messed up at the end. He was too tied up in D and was not thinking like with his head. Like D was thinking with her head, and I appreciated that. I was like, you go. And she actually really convinced me in Final Tribal. I went into Final Tribal like all rooting for Austin, and then when she started talking, I was like, damn, I think if I was on the jury, I'd be voting for her. Like, I thought she did really good in her Final Tribal, so it was fine, just not my favorite. Are you dating? In my romantic and nosy heart, I want to know all the love stories of the people I follow and care about. Well, thank you for lumping me in with, or not like, that sounded bad. Thank you for including me in that category. So am I dating? I mean, like, technically yes, but also like not really. So I am single. And I've been single for a while, and honestly, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of struggling at this point because I'm just very, very independent, and I just feel like I have a lot going on that I don't know. I'm busy. I work a full-time job, and then I'm writing, and then I have YouTube, and then I still have like my friends and my family. I don't really have a lot of time that I'm just like sitting around twiddling my thumbs, okay? And I've also like, I have my own apartment, I pay my own bills, I have my own friends. Like I'm very much independent that at this point, I really like need someone to just like actually add value in, or else it's like just not worth it to me. So like I hate dating apps, and I feel like that's kind of the only way to date right now. I know people say like meeting people through your friends is the best. That is not going to be the route for me. So like, yes, technically I am dating, and actually it's 2 days away from my self-imposed deadline to get back on dating apps, because here's the thing. It literally wasn't even that big of a thing, but last year, there was a certain little like situation that just kind of went down and kind of like spread itself out over probably like the course of a week or two, where I like, after things happened and went down, then I just kind of spiraled for a bit after, because I just kind of felt stupid and just kind of felt like I got played a little bit. And I just was like kind of spiraling a bit after that, rightfully so, but also like stupidly so, because I'm like, it's literally just a man, pull it together. But I just didn't like the feeling of feeling kind of like dumb. And that was when I was writing Take My Hand, and I was like, you know what, I don't have time for this distraction, because then when that was going down, I like was struggling with writing, and I kind of was like hitting a bit of a block, and I'm like, no, I cannot allow myself to have this happen, especially when I was like under deadline. So I'm like, no, I am done with all men right now, and I just need to focus. It's like, you know what, when I turn Take My Hand into my editor, then I will get back on some dating apps and try to like put myself out there again. Well, it's now into my editor, but I turned it in a couple of days early. So now I'm like, I'm staring down my deadline of getting back on dating apps. And I don't know, I just don't like them. But also I do feel like I need to be putting in more of an effort than I do. And especially because all of the work that I do is like very solitary. Obviously my 9-to-5 job isn't, but my like writing and like booktube, first of all, we're just surrounded by women, which I love us women, but there's not really any men around here. And also like, I'm not just gonna find a random man walking into my apartment, you know? So like, I do need to kind of put in a little bit more of an effort. So I'm going to do that. No. So I mean, like, technically, yes, I'm dating, but also like, not really. It's just, it honestly took me a long time to get over my last relationship, like longer than it probably should have, I think, because there was no like, there just wasn't a lot of closure in that, which like, I'm not really gonna get into that. I think if you've ever heard me talk about Even If It Hurts by Marnie Mann, just kind of let your imagination run with that one. That it's just, I've kind of struggled, mainly with her and Oliver, that I just kind of struggled with that. So then finally, like by the time that I was feeling like I was kind of getting over that, COVID hit. So then I wasn't really dating. And then I got way too comfortable being single during COVID, and now COVID's like kind of, I mean, it's still obviously running rampant, but we're not like in lockdown anymore, and I still don't want to go out and talk to men. But obviously if I want a boyfriend like I do, then I have to talk and entertain men, which like, technically, yes, I'm dating, but like, do I actually have anyone? No. Work-life balance thoughts. How's it going managing all of the things, tips and tricks? I don't know if I have any tips or tricks for you, honestly. So it's going okay. It's better right now as I've been editing. It's a lot harder when I'm actually actively writing a book, because I get really like focused and zeroed in on that, and I kind of like ignore everything else in my life outside of things. So it's better right now that I'm in editing mode, obviously, and now that I'm just doing the outline for starting line, like I have a better balance, but when I'm writing, it definitely is not as good. So I don't know. You know yourself best. So if you don't want to do something, don't do it. If you don't want to, like, let's say you have a YouTube channel, you don't want to film a video, don't film a video. It's supposed to be fun. You got invited out to a dinner with friends, but you're too tired and you want to stay home and read, stay home and read. Like, you truly do whatever you feel like doing. Like, I've gotten to be so okay with that. And again, maybe I need to be better about that. But it's like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to make myself do it. However, like, it is important and something that I've really tried to prioritize. And especially just, I think, as an adult, like, your friendships, they're harder to maintain when you're older because everyone's busy. Everyone has their own lives. All of my friends, with the, like, exception of one that live around me, all have partners or husbands or boyfriends. And I'm, you know, just the single one, and it sucks. But that really, I think it makes me very independent and able to do things on my own. But then also it makes me be more diligent about making time with them, because otherwise it is very easy for the status quo to kind of sink in of them just always doing stuff with their partners and me always doing stuff for myself. So you do just have to make an active effort. I just really try to make sure that I, like, plan my days. I'm a very, like, schedule orientated person. So if I decide I'm going to do something, like, when I'm going to do it, that's when I do it. And I don't really, like, let myself stray from that. And I love a deadline. So, like, when I'm under one, I just make sure that I get that done. And then I give myself time to kind of do whatever I want. So I don't know. I feel like it's a work in progress, but, like, isn't everyone kind of a work in progress with work-life balance? I don't really know if I have any tips, except just, like, listen to yourself and what you want to do. And also, how's it going with it? I feel like pretty well right now. Like I said, December was a little rough, especially with the holidays and trying to finish my book. I literally neglected everything. I neglected my phone. My apartment was a mess. Like, the holidays, it was just, like, a very stressful last 2 weeks of the year. But, like, where I am right now today, I'm feeling good, but that could very well change here anytime. Any hints about book 3? So, does this mean starting line? Because that's technically the third book that I'm going to write. Or does that mean take what you want, which is book 3 and Whisper Me Nothings? I'll give you both because we're pretty deep into the video here. We're getting ready to wrap things up. And also, like I said, these ones are normally just a smaller group of us, and I feel safe to share some stuff with you guys. So book 3 for Whisper Me Nothings, you guys will for sure know that couple before, or like when Take My Hand releases. It'll be very obvious when you're reading, and I think I'm going to say it at the end of the book. And I will say right now, it is Nikolai's book. I will not say who the heroine is, but it's someone, if you've read Take You Down, you already met her, and yeah, you'll see more. So it's going to be Rockstar, Second Chance, and I can't say the third big trope because that would give away then who the heroine is, but I'll say that. That's that. So that is book 3, and that I'm planning on releasing in November or December of this year. I'm so excited to write that story. They have been very prevalent and chatty in my head, like, the entire time that I've been writing Take My Hand, and I just cannot wait to write them. I think it's gonna be a really, really fun book, and I think it's already gonna, like, be more emotional than I ever, like, was anticipating when I was kind of just had them in my head. So really looking forward to that. And then if we want to talk about Starting Line, which is technically the third book that I will be publishing, so that one is a standalone sports romance. Obviously I said their names, TJ and Caleb, so they both are athletes, and so I'm releasing that July 29th, which is the Summer Olympics. So it has to do with the Summer Olympics. They both play sports at the Olympics. I won't really say anything more in terms of, like, plot and how they get there, but they do play different sports. And I will say, I guess they both play, like, they're both, like, individual sports, kind of. I'm really, really excited to be writing them as well. Their story came together very, very quickly, and I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are going to love it. And I guess that is, although since you're here, you know what? He's a swimmer and she's a gymnast. I'll leave it at that. Do you have any tips on how to read more? Do you only read so much because of YouTube, or is this your main hobby? How do you balance reading and other hobbies or important things? So I definitely read less than I used to, but I read a lot because it truly is my main hobby. Like, yes, I obviously read a lot because of YouTube, but even if I didn't have this channel, I would still be reading a lot just because that's what I love to do. And I love reading and I love romance, and it just makes me happy, and it definitely, like, has that escapism factor that I love and that I, like, need in my life. So I would still read a lot. So yeah, I do prioritize reading a lot, like in the evenings, you know, when I'm done with writing or I'm done with chores or whatever, like I'm done with doing, I'm reading. I read every single night before I go to bed. I probably read for at least 2 hours every night before I go to bed. But again, keep in mind, I don't have a partner. I don't have kids. Like I all of my time is my time pretty much, except for obviously when I'm like working, but otherwise my time is my time. So yes, I do read a lot because of that and because of YouTube, but even without it, I would. Also, I read fastest on my Kindle, so I'd say like if you have a Kindle, like figure out how you read fastest. If you read fastest on like a Kindle or something, then do that if you want to really try to like read more. And then also audiobooks. I've already read 3 audiobooks this year, and I found that I really like doing that for rereading my old favorites. I don't do great with new audios, at least right now. I've just been kind of struggling paying attention to new ones, but I've been listening to old favorites, and that's been a really great way for me to reread some old favorites without actually taking time away from like new physical books that I want to read. Audio is definitely a big help, and yeah, I just prioritize it. I prioritize reading because it truly is what just makes me happy. But I do have other hobbies, like I cross stitch and I watch a lot of TV and movies and I hang out with my friends, and you know, like I still do other things, but reading, like I just never really go a day without reading. I think I'm only going to be I'll do these last 2 because they kind of go hand in hand a little bit, and then I'll save any other ones for next time. So sorry if I didn't get to yours this time. Did you take any writing courses or read any books, or did you just start writing? I feel like that's what's holding me back. So in college, yes, I did. I almost had an English minor. I was 1 credit away, but I didn't want to stay like longer just to get that minor because I graduated in 4 years. I didn't want to take any more time, but I was really close to getting a minor in English. So I had a lot of writing classes in college, but like, honestly, I don't think that there was anything that I necessarily learned in those specifically that like helped me, that like changed the way that I write or anything, you know? I don't think, I mean, it gave me a story idea that I still haven't written, but that I will write eventually. But I don't think you need like courses. I really don't. Honestly, I think that reading is like the best form of research that you can do. Pay attention to how people write dialogue. Pay attention to how people set up scenes, end scenes, describe things, move between chapters, the pacing of stories. Figure out what you read and what you like about those styles. Figure out what you don't like about those styles. How they describe characters. See what you like in those descriptions, what you don't like in terms of like the way that they go about that. Honestly, I feel like reading is the biggest like thing that you can do to help your writing, is just reading and kind of figuring out like what catches your eye weird when you're reading and being like, I don't really like that they did that. Okay, well, how can you change that for your own? Or, oh, I really like how they did this. Okay, well, how can you not obviously copy that, but how can you like incorporate that into your own style and into your own style of writing and into your own book? I don't think you need like fancy courses or anything. And don't worry about like grammar or proofreading or things like that, because you'll get a proofreader to do that for you and an editor, because I definitely am not the best at grammar, or like when I'm writing, I'm really bad with dialogue tags, and that's up to Z, my editor, to fix all of that for me. You just got to get started. You just do. I know it's hard and I know it's scary, but truly just getting started is the biggest step, and you're already making it farther than so many other people have just by putting like the first few words on the page. So you just have to get started. Don't let like that you don't have some sort of technical background or anything stop you, because I don't. So yeah, obviously I took a lot of English classes, but that's not gonna like make or break my career, you know? And then I also got a question, so this is why it's gonna be the last one that I answer, because it kind of goes a little hand in hand, and it's tips for self-publishing a debut book. Currently wrapping up edits, but clueless how to publish. So I would suggest watching my Take You Down writing vlog, because I documented literally the entire process of publishing that book. But once you're done, so like, let's say you're done with edits and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So do you have a cover? If not, get a cover, design it yourself, hire someone, do whatever you gotta do, get yourself a cover. You gotta format your book. I know if you have it like in Google Docs or in Word doc, you can format it yourself. like in those programs. I did not want to mess around with that, so I got Vellum. It's a little expensive, but now I just have it. It was like $250, and it literally is so easy to format. You just like upload the file and it completely formats it for you. It even can add in a copyright page. It's literally one of my favorite things that I spent money on, and you can like include links in it. And then you can export it as, you know, the Kindle file, the paperback file, all of these things. It is so, so, so easy. So I would highly recommend that. So you got to format it. Then like upload, if you want to upload it to KDP, you go and you create a profile on their publishing place and you upload your manuscript, you upload your cover, you choose what size you want it to be, what paper color you want it to be, and then you upload it. It honestly is fairly simple once you have it done, if that's the route that you want to take. But like I said, you can watch that video because I do go like obviously more in depth and kind of showing those steps a little bit more. But that is what I would suggest that you do for that. Am I missing anything? What do I feel like I'm missing in that? Because it's pretty much just like format, cover, upload, promote it. I'm really bad at that. Actually, I need to get way better at that. I am not good at like being on Instagram, creating graphics, creating reels. I really don't like doing that. And you can tell I have really not done a good job with like posting a lot about it since its release. I post about it fairly frequently. But like in terms of trying to like attract new readers with like reels or posts or things, I'm just not good at that. Even though I do have, I think actually I literally made these graphics yesterday and then I just forgot to upload them. But I had made one that it was like popular highlights from the book that I found. You know how you can like tell what people highlight in books or like what a lot of people underline. So I like pulled those out. But I think that's pretty much it. So anyways, that's where I'm going to stop it. So like I said, I'm really sorry if I didn't get to your questions yet. I still have the rest of them on this list here, but anything that I didn't cover that you want me to talk about in the future videos, go ahead and drop those below. Anyways, if you're still at the end of these videos with me, I appreciate you so much. That is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.